9th day of iftar fototalk 2024, and the 4th consecutive year. We started this iftar fototalk in the year 2021. That was in Alsif Heritage Hotel during Corona time, and then 2022 Alsif Heritage, Hampton and Canopy, all the 3 hotels. 2023 we did it here in Bergman. So that time the complete ambience was totally different. And 2024 again, thanks to Bergman Mall to give us a space like this to have the iftar photo talk over here. So those who are new, who don't exactly know what exactly is iBrandConnect, I just want to give a brief introduction about iBrandConnect. So we started our journey just before Corona. So we always say we are a Corona baby. So, but at the same time, it was a kind of tough time for all of us during that time. Similar case with us. Initially, we started as a consultancy because I've been into photography industry for the last 33 years. But when I started, it was 29 years. So whatever knowledge that I have, I was just thinking to part this knowledge into different brands and being a kind of consultant over here in UAE and to cater the accessory brands across UAE, Middle East and Africa. But during Corona time, no one was listening the marketing part of it. So then I thought, okay, without having any physical product in hand, you won't be in a position to survive during that time. So we got 2 brands into photography, very, very niche brands into photography. It's called Leo Photo carbon fiber tripods, and then HNY filters. They are very specific accessories for high-end, mid to high-end cameras. So what we did was we approached many photography groups. So when we were able to move around with the mask on, that is June 2020, so we approached many photography groups across UAE and GCC, and then started going along with them during their photo walks and photography events. So 2021 only we started something called iBrandConnect Photo Talk. So this is something like, invite a professional influencer into a stage, invite them to a very specific place, maybe a 5-star hotel, a very important place, and then invite their followers as well as our followers for an event on that particular day, and then they register. It was a paid event. So they register and come for that particular event, and during that event, we showcase all our products during that particular day, and it's a kind of workshop, and it worked out. Like the first session, we did it with a gentleman called John Weatherby. Like when you search on Instagram, you can see where is Weatherby. So he was here. He's from Texas. We had some sort of chat on Instagram, and when he came over here, I was just talking about my vision of creating something like this. He said, okay, why don't we do it right now? So we did that in Vida in Dubai Creek Harbor. So that was the first one. And then second, Brian Peterson, he's again from Texas. He was here, good friend of mine, very nice photographer. And then I chat with him saying that, okay, Brian, why don't we create something? He said, man, do it. He's amazing. If you look at the Instagram profile of Brian Peterson, you'll love his works. So we did that. So then I got a kind of energy. Yes, we should do this on a weekly basis. Every week, we started doing it. And then, thanks God, so far from 2021 till now, today is our 211th physical event, and which made us connect with almost around 6,000 to 7,000 people in person, and that too around 111 content creators who did the show. They all are from 30 different countries. Now this is one thing which I always look into, like when I create some sort of events, always look into different nationalities. For example, right now, during this Iftar Photo Talk 2024, 20 days, we are doing it with 15 nationalities. So yeah, so thanks to everyone for the support to iBrandConnect. And it's not just like business. It is something like, a kind of proper connection. Now here I have my friend Hakan. He's from James Wellington School. So we collaborated with many times. And Boski, she is from an amazing photography group here called Shutterbucks. And the mentor is a good friend of mine. Arif Saab. He's a, like, it's a kind of Gurukul style of teaching. You need to have people coming on every Friday. If 2 Fridays are missing, 3rd Friday they are out. Because he don't charge anything, but he teach. And then I think in the world, the most, qualified photographer with all sort of IRP, LRP, I don't know, so many credentials that he have. So yeah, so similarly, like we all are in our professions, like your profession, you all are gems in the, your own professions. Like similarly, the aim for us is to create all these gems connect together. It is not just photography, we do business as well. We do different businesses. This is a kind of, BMI kind of concept. You can consider this is a kind of BMI kind of concept. We connect each other. Like for example, like this 20 days, we are going to meet almost around 1,200 people. So 1,200 different individuals. Now this time we have something called Pre-Magic, a software. He's again a good friend of mine. He started as a startup. Last JITEX, he was the main client for the JITEX. So you think about it, like how many people were there in the JITEX. Everyone took a selfie of them, and they all got their pictures on their WhatsApp before they leave the place. So similarly, please scan those barcode, and you get all your pictures, whatever the kind of pictures that we are shooting right now, you'll get it on there. Now, I want to introduce my friend again, Faizan. He is an amazing content creator. I've been following him, and he also come to our events. And,
I'm also following him.
Yeah. So the thing is, content creator. There are plenty of content creators in this world. Everyone is a content creator these days. But if someone makes sense, like the kind of things what they do, and then you see consistently doing things, and creatively doing things. Like yesterday, I was just watching your 3U. Like these are the things, like when, and the other one which I was watching, like it's something like you go here and there, So technology, like see, technology is all around the world, but how we utilize that technology to the next level, that is what exactly is Faizan. So thanks Faizan for coming on a short notice, and we are right now today is a day for Holy Land. So what we do, like every day we create as a brand's day. So today our brand is Holy Land. So our distribution brands are these things, and we do marketing for Holy Land, Zhiyun, and Your Life. And plus camera brands like Nikon, they have 2 sessions, that is tomorrow and after tomorrow. Canon, they already had 1 session, and the next session is on 29. Sony, they already had a session. So these 3 camera brands, and then Tamron, we are going to have a session on 30th. So likewise, Zhiyun, we are going to have a session on 27th. So yeah, so Tourbox, that is an editing console. So we are going to have a session on 29th with an Emirati astrophotographer. So yeah, so every day is a session. So every day different phases. And you can all register and join these sessions. Okay, thank you very much again. And thank you, Faizan.
Faizan.
All the best.
Yes,
Faizan. Yeah, all the best. All the best.
Hi, good evening, guys. How was the food? Good. Okay. Fine. Perfect. So don't doze off. It'll not take more than 30 minutes. We'll be very quick. I know the food was good. So, and I have good education around as well, and there's some memes in between to keep you guys awake. Okay. So let's start. So quick introduction about myself. My name is Faizan Patel. I'm from Delhi. My hometown is Mangalore, but for the last 13 years I've been in Delhi. I have worked there professionally. I grew as a photographer, and I think I owe it to Delhi that what I am today. I learned photography from different people that I met over there, created content around Delhi, met amazing brands that I shot for. I think any other city in India, I might not have got that kind of access, so Delhi was an amazing place to be in. And yeah, I have 13 years of experience. Currently, I'm working as a visual content producer for Dubai Tourism. So it's just been a couple of weeks that I've joined. So soon you'll get to see a lot of Dubai content coming into my Instagram. And about my education, I did my master's in media and communication. And that's where the love for photography began. We had a semester, I think the 2nd or 3rd semester had a small session on photography. And the college had asked us to get a basic camera, DG cam or whatever that you could afford back then, and click pictures. So that semester is when I got a DG cam. Then I got better with it. Then I got my first DSLR within the same year. And from there onward, what started as a hobby of clicking my colleagues, my classmates, my friends, became into a full-time profession there onwards. Yes, and I've done workshop for Canon, MediaTek, and Oppo, and now today, technically, iBrandConnect and also Holyland. Okay, very simple. I'm sure, how many of you do photography over here? Like even 1, 2, 3. Smartphone photography? The rest of you? Okay, so pretty much this triangle, the exposure triangle, pretty much determines what exactly you click, what you see. The aperture, the shutter speed, the ISO. Now most of the smartphones have it inbuilt. You don't have to break your heads over it to how to fix it. But for those who shoot DSLR, they should understand what should be the aperture, the shutter speed, the ISO to get the perfect image done. But we're not going in depth into it, but just a governing rule of how exactly photography works. Now coming to the basics of content creation. First things first, whenever I start shooting, I have this habit, in fact now I've realized even consciously or unconsciously rather, I have this tendency whenever I take my phone out, the first thing I do is wipe up the screen, because the food that you eat, the smudges, the makeup, your fingerprints, everything gets stuck on your lenses. And when you click a picture, you see, sometimes when you see a hazy picture that you get, that's when you should know that, okay, my lens is either broken or there's scratch or there is smudges. So first thing first, always start off by cleaning your lenses. I always have this fabric with me in my bag, in fact multiple bags, and that's the first thing that I use to clean up my camera with. Okay, how many of you have this thing activated on your smartphone? Okay, 2, 3, 4 of them. So whenever I buy a new phone, even for a matter a new DSLR, the first thing I do is go to the settings, install these things. This just makes your task much easier. Instead of clicking a picture, then going in post-process, aligning everything to the horizon or making it straight, too much of stress. I just follow these lines, and it saves half of my time in post-processing. So always, if you have a phone that you shoot primarily for content creation or even camera, go and activate this from your settings. Switch on the grid lines. Now coming to the rule of thirds, again, as soon as you have activated the grid lines, this is a rule that helps you figure out what's a good picture, what a good picture looks like. But now, to be honest, it was a rule that every photographer used to have, but now there's no rule as such. You could just frame your subject anywhere, and still the image looks good, because obviously now Instagram, ever since it's introduced the vertical mode of shooting, things have started looking different. So it's good to know about it, but not necessary that you adopt to it, as long as you're telling a story with your picture. Okay, and click in natural lights as much as possible. Now, most smartphone cameras say, oh, we have a bigger aperture, we can shoot amazing pictures even at night. I'm not a big fan of night pictures. In fact, I think it's 90% of the time, 99 I would say, of the time I'm shooting my content during the day, as much as possible during the day. Nighttime, it's very, very rare. And even if I'm shooting, I'll always make sure I'm carrying one of these LED lights or strips within my bag to click those nice night pictures. Okay, this is another thing. Okay, excuse my hair. I just woken up that day and I had to make a workshop that particular day. So this is what I made that day. I always make sure, because if for those who, how many of you shoot content like on a regular basis? Every week you have a couple of pictures going out. I'm sure you do food photography. What about you? No? Okay, the rest of you, how many of you shoot pictures every day, post every week, something like that? Okay, so this comes handy primarily for those who shoot videos or even pictures for that matter. Always have it on. It's by default on the phone. If you hard press on the subject, it will just focus lock onto it. So if you move away, you'll lose focus obviously. But the idea is when you shoot a video, you'll get to see a significant change in the exposure. So by doing this, your videos will be accurately lit and there will not be no flickering of lights as such. Exposure won't deviate much. Okay, and the last thing that I'm not a big fan of, in fact, I think every other camera these days have 5x, 10x, 100x, and it just goes on and on and on. Technically, it's not optical zoom that they are using. They used a software zooming. So basically, most of the cameras click a picture. I'm talking of smartphones primarily. They click a picture. It could be a 48 megapixel or 100 megapixel picture. And when you want to use a particular portion, they basically zoom into it and they give you the final output. I'm not a big fan of it. I think if you want to still use this feature, cameras are still your best option because they use optical features, optical zooming. So a picture that's shot on a camera, on a zoom, is way better than that you shot on your iPhone, on your phone for that matter. So avoid shooting zoom pictures. And yeah, how many of you use Android over here? 1, 2, 3, 4 iPhones? Okay, many of them. Okay, so you guys are going to hate this because none of you have this particular feature. Even I have an iPhone. I hate iPhone not having it. But fortunately, there's a hack. If you download the Lightroom app, that lets you do pro mode shooting. I'm a big fan of it. So whenever I understand 90% of the time I'm just clicking by the automatic mode. But sometimes when I want to compose a picture for my liking, I go to the Lightroom app and switch on to pro mode, and I shoot the pictures as if I was shooting on a DSLR camera. Okay, now these are some of the apps and software that I use for my content creation. How many of you use or know of this? Excuse Instagram. Now Instagram is technically an editing app now because they have templates, they can edit pictures, you have presets over there, you can do all the stuff, everything. How many of you use any of the software that's mentioned over here? Okay, perfect. So these are some very handy tools. I'm a big fan of, when it comes to videos, I use CapCut. It has pretty much everything in it, captions. If you want, you can click a picture of this. Again, for content creation, when I need a caption for my videos, for my pictures, I just go to ChatGPT, and if I want to make a cover image for my reels, I go to Canva. But since I know Photoshop, I primarily use Photoshop. But for those who don't know Photoshop, can simply stick to this website. Apart from that, Instagram, Adobe. So when I'm clicking a picture, I edit primarily on Adobe Lightroom. I have a paid subscription, so it works out for me. For those who don't want to spend money, you have something like Snapseed. Even Instagram has filters these days. VSCO camera is good, and InShot. And in videos, CapCut is also free. But unfortunately, those who live in India don't have access to it because it's owned by TikTok, so it's banned. But otherwise, you could pretty much use most of these softwares for your content creation game. Okay, now let's have some meme time just to fill in between. I always do this. I'm a big fan of memes. In fact, 99% of the time, if I'm not editing, I'm on the internet looking for memes and just having a good laughter. Okay, how many of you are married? I'm sure everyone, pretty much everyone. Okay, so this happens to me a lot. My wife till date complains that I have not clicked a good picture of hers. So this is what happens. She tells me, click a picture. And then obviously the next question is, show me the picture of what you have shot. And this is the last response that I get. I've never heard like, oh, amazing, brilliant, good job. No, never, delete it. So if you see my recycle bin, I have more pictures of hers over there than in my gallery. Okay, so, and this has again happened a lot. Yes?
You're online.
I'm online? Oh, shit. Okay. So this happens to me. So you are a professional photographer. You are one. Who else? You click as well. So this happens. If you're traveling in a group, I'm obviously the official photographer by default. So I tend to click all the pictures. Once in a while, I tell them, okay, guys, enough. It's my turn now. And this is what they get. And it has actually happened. I gave last trip. I don't have that picture right here. There's a beautiful monument. I shot a picture of my wife in focus and the background. Nicely done. When I gave the camera to her, the focus was on the monument. I'm just blurred over there. Happens. Okay, this is what happened actually. Okay, so now this again used to happen quite often. Now I make sure when I give the picture, I tell them, okay guys, this is my Instagram handle. Make sure you tag me. There are people who do not tag you in pictures altogether. Okay, now coming to the business end of the content creation aspect. Now today, guys, most of the tricks are for smartphones, but there are a few ideas that you can incorporate in your camera as well. Now I'm a big fan of reflections. So I always make sure I am carrying an extra phone or a bottle of water or a mirror like this. There's a mirror that I picked up from IKEA. My car has few of them. My bag, everywhere I've basically kept mirrors, small size, medium size, everywhere. And this one day I didn't have a mirror, but what I did was, this was I think around the time when the Museum of the Future was launched. This was probably day 1 or day 2 of the opening of Museum of the Future, and I happened to be there. I just poured water on the surface. Right next to there's a cafe over there. I poured water on the surface and I shot this picture. Very simple. So either you're carrying an extra phone or a bottle of water or a mirror to get to something like this.
Similar in my camera will be.
Yeah, it's possible. It's just that you'll have to adjust the lenses quite low. So a zoom lens might not work. Something that has wide, like a 14 mm or something wider, will help you get something like this. Okay, now coming to hyperlapse. This is again shot the same day after, few days later. A simple picture. In fact, wherever I go, whenever I'm traveling, this is my first thing to do. I love time lapses. I love hyperlapses, and most phones have it on default mode. What to do, and it's a simple video of the monuments right there, and I'm just taking one step towards it, and I make sure at least I shoot 10 to 15 seconds. So when I get a final output, it's like a 4 or 5 second long video, and I keep looping it, so it makes up for a good content. Compose better. So again, normally we have this tendency to just, if you see something, we tend to just click it. But I make sure I look around the ambience, I look around the space. Okay, how better can I make a picture? This is what most people would shoot. So what I do is I look for a frame or a structure or leaves for that matter. I go around it, and then I try to click a picture, just to give a different dimension, different perspective to it, and to stand out from what other people usually shoot. Okay, driving POV, guys, do not try this on Sheikh Zayed Road. How many of you have licenses? Okay, so your license will be barred if you do this. I did it outside, I think towards Hatta, so it was fine. I clamped my phone onto, there's a particular holder made just for this, and I made a POV shot of me driving the Jeep, and it was an activity rate for Jeep where they took us off-roading, and yeah, this is what it looks like. So if you have a clamp like this, I'm sure even, Shaji, do you have something similar? A mouth clamp? Yeah. Okay, perfect. Guys, he will show you the product once I'm done with this. Okay, lens compression. Now, this is a trick that I learned recently. So it's very similar to dolly zoom. How many are into video over here? Not many? Trying to, okay, fine. So you must have seen this movie called Jaws. There was this epic scene where the character, the main actor, is in focus, and suddenly when an incident happened, one of the shark attacks, there's a weird zoom that happens where the background tends to look as if it's coming behind the subject. So this is the similar idea used over here. And in photos, it's called lens compression. When it's done in video, it's called dolly zoom. So if you see, this is the actual picture I shot on a phone, and this was basically, the idea is simple. If you have a subject standing right there, you make sure you zoom out. You use 0.5 zoom on your lens, and basically you move away. At the same time, you're zooming into the camera as well. I'll just show you what it looks like. So if you're shooting in 0.5, just make sure assume this is the subject over there, and you just move back while you're zooming. That's it. Zoom in, but you're moving away. So what this does is, anything that's far away, any structure, any monument, it appears to be right next to the subject. And then so instead of getting a picture which is boring and you don't see the monument, you could try something like this. It's called the lens compression technique. Very simple. Okay, now coming to, it's not exactly an aerial time lapse, but this is something that I'm fond of. I have this thing called blue tack. Okay, I think I misplaced it in a different bag now. So it's basically a chewing gum-like thing. You can see what exactly I'm doing. Can you see this thing? Yeah, it's a blue tack. So mostly food photographers, jewelry photographers use it. My bag has, I think, 5 packs of blue tack always. And it works amazing for car videos and even for something like this, where I stick my phone to the window and I leave it over there for a good half an hour, or maybe during landing, during takeoff, and I get this kind of footage. So it's fun kind of content that you can create with your phone. The other option is obviously to put the mirror down. Sorry, there's a cover for the mirror, but most aircrafts don't have it these days. So blue tack comes handy. This is what the setup behind the scenes looks like. And also, guys, make sure you're not shooting on the side where the sun is, else you'll get a reflection like this. But this is what it looks like. Your phone clamped, and even your iPhone or Samsung S24, the heaviest phone also, the blue tack is capable of making it stick onto it. Okay, very simple transition that I tried last time when I went to Europe. Shoot a video on a selfie mode in a different location. So this was probably I think must have tried around 7-8 different locations in Vienna. The trick was, I shoot a video and I just do this. That's it. One zoom per. Did you guys see it? Was it clear? You shoot a video and just do this. So what happens is, the moment you do that to swipe, it's like a transition, natural transition that you've done. Then go to Premiere Pro or CapCut or any of this video editing softwares and compile all these videos that you have from different location into this. So again, as I told you, there are 8 videos that I shot. I just flipped the phone, that gave me a natural transition, and a new location comes up. Portrait mode, again, this is shot on an aircraft. So when I do a selfie, I avoid shooting pictures using the default photo mode. So I switch on to the portrait mode, and I have this tendency of focusing first, focus lock on the person, on the subject, and decrease the exposure. If you see, I've literally reduced to almost 0 over there. So what that does is, it just highlights your main features, your eyes, nose, lips, that's about it, and everything around it is black. It's like a natural vignetting effect that you try on your pictures. Vertical panorama. Now again, this comes in handy when you are shooting structures, like example Burj. I've done something similar for Burj as well, where I was very close to it, and I think my phone back then had only 1x. It did not support 5x. Now with 0.5x, you can shoot the whole of Burj Khalifa. Now with this thing it's a simple trick. So assume you want to shoot the Burj, assume it's right next to you. So what I would do is, I would switch on to the panorama mode on the camera, and I would just swipe up, that's it. That's all. And then automatically within few seconds, it gives you a picture like this. So it works out well for a structure like Burj, or even this was shot inside a church. I shot it 1x, and I think I only got this much. If I can show you, I could only get this and this bit using the 1x that my phone supported back then. So what I did was, I wanted the painting, I wanted the glass ceiling on the top as well. So what I did was, I switched to panorama mode and I just swiped upright. That's about it, simple. Okay, underwater photography. Now this is not for every other smartphones. The flagship phones of most cameras support this feature. So iPhone 13, 14, 15 Pro supports it. If you have the Samsung, most of the Samsung phones are waterproof. Pixel phones are waterproof. Vivo, Oppo, avoid. I know most of them don't support waterproof or even water resistant for that matter. Now my phone was water resistant up to, I think, 30 meters. And this was hardly, I think, about 10-12 meters deep. And you could try a different kind of picture or video if your phone supports that feature.
It's not used for CR.
I'm sorry?
It's not used for CR.
I have tried in my phone, not recommended ideally.
Yeah.
You could do it, but not. So what I do is, so I shoot pictures, I come home, or within that moment, I clean it up right away. No salt or see what should be on your phone after that. Because technically, even this thing has enough chlorine, enough salt, enough mineral that can ruin your phone. But to make sure you clean up your phone as soon as you're done with it. Pure water, mineral water. Get that water, not your tap water or anything. Wash it, literally wash it. Again, I wash it. And then obviously I'm not able to use it for the next half an hour because it tells me, okay, your phone is wet. Yeah, just wait for next 30 minutes. Okay, some more card tricks. Now, in fact, there's some gadgets over here. Okay, so I have something similar from the Leo Photo, and there's this clamp. So what I've done is, I attached these two onto the smartphone holder, and I clamped it right on the sun visor. So this you could do if you want to shoot your video throughout the day. I think 70-80% of you drive to office every day. So this is a good way to shoot content of yourself or maybe of the road. Simple technique, smartphone, a clamp, and the holder, you can adjust in any angle and just shoot your videos. I drive like 20-30 minutes one way after dropping my child and my wife, so that's good content for me on the go. Okay, now coming to car hyperlapse, again more car videos, because pretty much everyone drives over here. Everyone drives over here. Now this was a magnetic clamp. Now you have an alternate for that. Shaji has you have something like this. Now this works for a smartphone and for a GoPro or Insta360. This one works for a camera, mirrorless camera, ideally nothing heavy. So I clamped it onto the front side of my car and I shot this video. Obviously don't try this if you're in India. You'll not find your phone, you'll not find the equipment there after a while. This is Dubai, so I could trust it. It was there for a good half an hour when I was shooting this particular content. But if it were India, I would never do this. Okay, last couple of more tricks. Now this is called a pan around. Now if I don't want to make a boring video of just showing the space, what it looks like and everything, again I switch to the 0.5 mode on my camera. And the trick is very simple. Now you can see my hands right there. I don't know how many of you can see it. Can you guys see it? So what I do is, it's again a time-lapse video technically, a hyperlapse video. So what I do is if I want to zoom into iBrandConnect for that matter. So I record the video. It has to be done only in the time-lapse mode, okay, 0.5. And what I do is, with every step that I take forward, at the same time, I'm increasing the size of the pinch as well. And when I'm coming back, I decrease the size of the pinch. So what this does is, now this is what the effect looks like. Now there were, I think obviously, I must have taken 15 steps to zoom into a particular structure, and that's when I got this video. And if you want to pan left, pan right, I can do the same thing, but very, very, very slowly. So in fact, my accuracy rate with this video is like I have to take at least 3 or 4 attempts to get one video right. So I keep walking, keep doing that step, and taking very literally slow motion walks every now and then. The zoom has to be really slow as well. That's when you get something like this. Now this is something that I did for a brand. Now this is a brand plugin here. I've used a product from Holyland. It's called, very something similar to this, the Holyland Mars M4. This is what it looks like. This is what it looks like. It just mounts on your camera. This is something for primarily for camera, not for smartphones. So this comes in handy, or I use it only when I'm shooting professional content for brands, or if I'm shooting a vlog or a video for myself where there's no one to help me, so at least I can see what exactly I'm shooting. So when I'm doing vlog content, I use that. If I'm shooting myself in an interview setup, I use that setup. And the trick over here that I've used is very simple. The camera, the phone can be on a tripod, make a subject sit, just turn around, and in Premiere or any software, just cut it out over there and put the next clip over there. But the idea was to show what exactly I did with the gadget that Holyland had given me for the review. Okay, now these are some very must-have accessories that I use. My camera bag, I have a camera bag from PG Tech. It's a massive bag, 35 liters. It has at least 1 or 2 camera bodies. I have my iPhone. Apart from that, if I'm doing any brand collaboration with any of the smartphone brands, so I have 2 of those always. I have an Insta360. I'm a big fan of it. It's always in my bag. The cleaning vibe that I was talking about in the beginning, to clean up your lens. I always carry this for night photography, or if I want to click pictures of the food. A Joby mount, a mini tripod, selfie the clamp. This goes pretty much everywhere. It sticks to, if there are places in Dubai where they don't let you use a tripod, this comes in handy. You just clamp it anywhere and you can shoot content. If you want to make videos with using a smartphone, you can use a gimbal like this. How many of you have these gadgets? Except for this maybe, but how many of you have Insta360 or any of those mounts that I'm talking about? Guys over there? No? Okay. You can buy it from iBrand now. Okay, now coming to the Holyland bit of it. I'm using Holyland mic right here. So since I'm one of the influencers who promotes Holyland, I get to try these gadgets beforehand, before they come into the market. So in Delhi, in Dubai, if anything happens, so it's either me or Shaji who gets the product beforehand to try it out. So currently, what I'm using right now is a Holyland Mars Lark Max. Sorry, it's not Mars. Sorry, got spelling wrong. It's Holyland Lark Max. Now this is very professional usage. You can see the setup over there. They have the boxes over here as well. This is what it looks like. So it has 2 mics and a receiver. So primarily, if you're shooting video interviews, like even right now, they're shooting this content. They're using this particular equipment. Good for interviews, good for long distance. Like if the subject is really far off, you could shoot that. What I primarily use it, I create towards the end of this video, I'll show you a video that I made. I use this thing because it has this option of recording. So if you don't want to connect it to a camera, or you don't have if you're shooting on your phone, you just want to record the audio separately. What you do is, there's an option here, right here, record. This device has both the mics have this option. So you can record the audio, and later in editing, you can use the video footage and add this bit, and you can get an amazing video. And I showed you what exactly I did with the Holyland Mars M1 in the previous video. And this is the latest product that they've come up with, the Holyland Mars Lark 2. These are the older versions, right? Okay, these are the older version. I have the latest one. So this is what they've come up with a compact case for this. It has a mount for your iPhone for the lightning cable. It has a Type-C for your Android phone, and also if you're using the latest iPhone 15 Pro Max, it has a support for that. Plus they have all these extra accessories, so if you want to clamp it to your neck, you have it right here. They have a dead mouse as well. So I'll show you what this equipment looks like. It's as tiny as it, that's it. There, okay. And it has a magnetic mount right behind it, so if I want to just clamp it here, I can just do it. That's it. And it stays. Even if you run, jog, do whatever you want, it will not fall off. The magnet is really, really strong. And there's an additional piece which goes only on your camera. So the other devices go on your Lightning phone, iPhone or the Android phone, whereas this one only goes on your cameras. Okay, now I think we're done pretty much spoken about all the products. This is what you get inside the box: the Lightning cable, the Lightning Connect, the for the Androids, and the two microphones. Yep. I think this is the video I want to show you. Oh, it's not playing, is it? Okay, so this is what I shot using this device right here. The audio was recorded on this. Is it audible enough? So I actually clipped it to my hand right here. So everything, every move, everything that I did was recorded on this. Right here, so any action that I did with my hand, the lifting of the cup, the opening of the curtain, even typing on the keyboard, every sound is recorded on this particular device. And obviously in editing, you have to match it so that you get the perfect result that you want. Okay guys, with that I have come to an end. Now I'm open for question answers. So if you have any questions regarding content creation, if you have some problems, you're not able to figure out, okay, how can I shoot this particular content? I'm open for questions.
So what do you prefer more, like the content by phones or camera?
See, it's convenient. So 80%, 90% of time, it's mostly my smartphone. It's very easy. Just take your camera out, shoot something, and it's pretty much I'm getting 4K. If I want video, I have 4K. If it's picture, obviously, it's with the iPhone 15, it's almost like 48 megapixel of pictures. In fact, I remember last time I went to on a Euro trip, I had my Insta360, my 5D Mark IV, Mark III that I was using back then, my iPhone, the collaboration that I did with the brand, the Oppo phone right here. So I had 5 gadgets on me, but I was only using one, my iPhone. That's about it. It was their camera. I would remove the camera. I would keep it ready for clicking pictures. But I remember, I think I must have shot, in the 15 days, I shot only 100 pictures. Whereas on my iPhone, I had 1,000 plus pictures and videos. So not that I prefer, but it's more about convenience. And it's very easy to consume this kind of content for Instagram or TikTok. And I've seen the algorithm pushes content that's shot on the phone. So that's one reason why I stick to shooting everything on my phone.
Really?
Yeah, it does that, yeah. So if you see most of the pictures, even the ones shot on Android phones, go viral. Whereas when you shoot on your DSLR, and they have hardly 1,000, 2,000 views. So I think the algorithm does push. In fact, I've heard this quite often. It's not come officially from Instagram, but I've seen videos or content shot on the phone doing way better than a DSLR content.
And like while you are having some story, how do you script it? How do you plan?
ChatGPT. To be honest, if I assume, even if it's a brand shoot, even if I put, okay, I want to shoot content around Museum of the Future, Burj Khalifa, it will give me a list of ideas. Okay, try this out. That's one reason. And in fact, if I'm going to a shoot, there have in fact been instances where 3 years ago, if a brand reaches out to me saying, okay, dude, we have a shoot, can you help me with the script? It takes me 3-4 days to find a script writer, get script done and everything. Then I'll approve internally, then send it out to the clients. So 4-5 days is gone. Now what I do is, the moment I get a query and they say, okay, end of day, can you send me? I go on ChatGPT, I just put up the basic brief. In fact, the last brief that I received was from a scooter brand. They said, we have a scooter, we want to showcase it around the roads of Gurgaon, around India. Can you make a video? I put literally the same brief and it gave me a 15-20 second with direction, with angles, shoot this particular angle, use a wide lens in this particular thing. Within 15 minutes, I had a result. I mailed it to them, and I got a deal. In fact, it was sent across multiple agencies. So whichever agency gives the best rate and also comes up with script. So I saved money on the script writer and the DOP, whoever it is, who needs to come up with the basic storyboarding. I saved up that money, and that's how I could get up that project. So ChatGPT, guys, use it quite often. It's free now. I'm sure they'll start charging probably a couple of years down the lane. So if you are into the field of content creation, use it.
You usually do solo or some money?
So back in India, I had an assistant. Every shoot I used to take him. Here, it's a bit difficult. So again, the Ulanzi clamp. If I want to do a BTS behind the scenes, I plan it over there. Or if I can afford to take a friend who's free on that particular day. But to find someone like that in Dubai is difficult. But yeah, it's mostly self-shoot these days. Or if I have an assistant on shoot, then he does my content.
Because this mobile camera, you are using any third-party app like the Filmic Pro, the Moments, something like this? Because now only this 15 for also just 15 only, just iPhone also just does a log shoot. No?
Correct, see log, exactly.
Yeah, about the video. Other phone also, because there's a previous phone also
We couldn't do that, exactly.
Yeah, we can't do that.
So you're asking me if I use third-party software?
Third-party, like Filmic Pro.
So ever since I discovered CapCut, I don't use any of the softwares. I'm sure they have some good options, but CapCut does my work. And it has basic presets it has. Even if I shoot in log format, there are presets in it which I can mount on top of it, and it'll give me a good edited video. So everything I do, see again, 90% of the time, I'm shooting on my laptop. But times when I'm traveling, I can't get my access to my laptop. I take my CapCut out, edit 10-15 minutes. It takes longer than in the Premiere Pro, but within 10-15 minutes, I have a full video done. And it has every preset, angle, cropping, stabilization is also there, which takes like 10 minutes on your basic laptop. It takes like less than a minute, surprisingly, yeah.
Mostly I'm choosing there's a portrait mode or a landscape.
Again, because of Instagram, TikTok, it's ruined me. I only shoot vertical now. There was a time when I had lots of horizontal, and I used to prefer that. Even pictures that I used to put on Instagram were horizontal. But post 2020, when Reels came up, it was only vertical. So I think 80-90% of it's vertical. So even if I shoot landscape, what I do is I shoot 3 or 4 or 5 different pictures in a vertical mode. Then I stitch it. So I get my vertical shots for my Instagram, and that same picture, if I stitch it, I get a landscape shot as well. Yeah.
Do you have any experience about there's a bit depth also?
What?
Bit depth.
Bitrate, okay.
Bit also just. It's affecting for the data.
See, my video trade does that primarily, but I know what you're talking about. If you want to upload a video for Instagram, 100 bit depth is an ideal size. Anything lesser than the quality will not be great. So I stick to 100. Yeah.
About timing, what is like algorithm? Like, usually people say 20 seconds and 30 seconds. Those times are like go more viral than the longer the reels. What's the time algorithm?
See, honestly, if you get into the algorithm, it's a mess. Because Instagram, I'm sure if you ask someone working at Instagram, dude, do you understand the algorithm? He'll say no. There are many factors that goes into it. The attraction point of your video, the trending audio, the size, duration of the video, what filters you have used on top of it, what time you have shared it. 10-15 factors is what I think Instagram has. Based on that, you get it right. But there are times when people have applied everything.
People say like 20-30 seconds video reels gets more, but some information cannot be covered in 20 seconds.
Exactly. So there's I've learned after a point, initially I has to focus every day, has to be stressed, mental stress literally, because
something slow.
Exactly.
Then you squeeze and then the mood is gone.
So there was a point when I has to have mental stress because I put an effort of shooting behind the scenes, editing video for a couple of days, and I would get 1,000 or 10,000 views, that's it. And my other friends have shot on their phone, posted right away, and millions of views. So after a point I realized, do not focus on this bit, that if you want every video to go viral, it will never happen. It does not happen. So just focus on putting consistently. That's what something worked. So until 1.5 years ago, 2021 July, I was stuck at 30,000 followers for like several years, 30,000. From there, that day onwards, I decided I'll put one reel or at least post every day. For the next 7-8 months, I did this. And every day there was a reel, every day, one reel. In fact, post is still doable. Reel is difficult to shoot, to edit, find audio trending to that.
You want a good number.
So from exactly. So after 6 months, no results. I think from 30 I moved to 35,000. Then one reel went viral. From there onwards, 70, 80, 90, and I reached 190. Out of that, within that span of 6-8 months. So the idea is just be consistent and put a content that's more of educational help to people, or has humor, has some learning for the people.
So BTS are more.
BTS, if there's so there are three contents which Instagram spoke about: educational, anything that teaches people how to do it, something very absurd works, or music, dance video, or comic. So I make sure I marry comedy bit and my photography skills to get some things going viral at times. So if you see nowadays, every third or fourth reel is a comedy video that I put related to photography.
What do you suggest for photographers then? What you said is all about video and everything. What am I going to do? I'm so boring.
But you do on your camera, is it? Do you shoot on your camera?
Well, I mean, yeah.
Okay.
I don't put anything on it. I'll put some background music now and again if I feel like it. Or I know they're so boring. Even the photos now, everybody's shooting close and whatever. I don't know how you find time. I don't have time to do that. I take photos, I put them on there, nobody looks at it.
See this algorithm.
Earlier were days like 300, 400 likes. And now if you see not even 10 likes, but it's not me. The people who are having 1 million followers
Also get the same.
They are getting 10 likes only.
So there's a little change now what Instagram has done. So when the reel was out, it used to tell people only put reels.
Really?
So I stopped clicking pictures. I only used to put reels. Now, so now what they've done is now they have to tell you in a week, put 3 or 4 reels video. 2-3 could be your pictures. So they let you do that. Your numbers, if you see right now, it'll increase as opposed to what you used to do before. What is it? Carousel. So carousel is also good. So if you have multiple pictures, like if you do exactly 7, 8, 9 pictures into one post. So you could mix up that way.
Story, I got loads of views. I said loads, nothing like the best. Over 10. Hotel.
Okay.
If I put as a photo in there,
Yeah,
I got nothing basically, just only friends and whatever.
Yeah.
Just add a video, add a.
Time to
But if it's a reels, then 7,000, 8,000, like you don't have follower like you, I have like 3,000 because I'm not serious. Today I'm serious, I put
See, it's again simple.
post 3.
So this workshop,
3 months.
it was primarily for content creators, like who want to create content, who want to grow on this particular line, want to become an influencer. So if you want to reach a specific number, where then attract brands, attract more clients as well.
Because people don't see qualities, what work speaks. They want number. I don't understand.
Nowadays,
See my work. Why do you want to see the stupid number which is not having any correlation?
see, it's simple. You do photography.
Yeah.
Now, there's an influencer who has a very basic Android phone. All he does is goes to a restaurant, eats food, posts video, and that's about it. A brand, the whole restaurant is more likely to call him because of you, because of what he's done is very simple and it reaches, than paying you so much for a professionally good picture. Now your picture and his picture will be big, huge difference, but his is very simple process, could go viral on Instagram, and the brands want that. They just want their food dish, whatever it is, the person walking up to the store, talking about their restaurant, what the price is, brands just want that. So it's as simple as that. So that's one reason where photographers after a point feel like, okay, let me do content creation. I used to do mostly photography. Now it's reversed. I do mostly content creation right now. Yeah. So you have a scope. You could become a content creator.
So regular posting is
Yes.
so important.
Very important. Now, in fact,
Story and reels.
earlier, as I told you, they would ask you to put 7 reels a week. Now they have given you leverage.
Yesterday, and I am posting something stupid like good.
It's simple. If you want to grow in,
Not having any relation with my photograph.
if you want to grow in this line, you will have to do. That's it. If you don't, then don't stress out.
Guys, Instagram say hello, congratulations, you are putting the reels. And there is no.
And they're not even been paying you. Like at least a year back, they used to pay me. Instagram came up with the bonuses, so they used to pay content creators. At least we had something like YouTube where we're earning money out of it. Now they've stopped.
Instagram doesn't pay now.
They were like, okay, we're paying out too much money. We'll just keep everything for ourselves.
I think there is a transition now in the food bloggers usually when I see the 80% of the content what they're creating now. I mean, they're not honest with what they are scripting. You know, so
Yeah.
And see, in Dubai, and since it's
their vlog to the restaurant.
see,
It's like advertisement.
it's Dubai and also it's Ramzan. Food is something that does well. So just you walk into a store today, shoot a random picture on your phone, put it, you'll get views. Provided you follow the other rules also, audio, trending audio.
Give them the ROI what they're paying.
Exactly. So it works out for them. So if you want to do the same thing, obviously do it for a while until your numbers grow.
It's not that 80% bloggers are not giving the proper opportunity.
So that brands, restaurants least bother about that. If even the food is bad, if a person makes a video, it goes viral, tomorrow he gets 100 customers, he's okay. Of that 100, 10 might like it and they'll become a regular customer. That's it. They are okay. They'll call 10 more influencers, make the same video. It's a loop. It works out for them, works out for the influencer, and people who love food are happy with it as well. Yeah, simple. So if you want to get into content creation, just do not stress out. Just keep it simple. Just put content. You're fine. You're doing good.
Even I'm not a professional photographer.
Okay.
I'm just looking at these blogs all the time. So I don't test these people at all. So they usually, I randomly find out. I go to Google review or
Okay, understood.
I mean, it's more solid information.
Guys, any more questions? Done? Shaji, do you have any questions? Ritul? Yes.
Yeah, it's from another. Now we are talking about that business uploading. Because of this time also the state depending
Time, like as in, say 6 p.m., 4 p.m. now, office leaves. So people watch either before that, like half an hour, 1 hour before that, before they start driving, or once they reach home. So usually for Dubai, it's between 3 p.m. to 7, 8, 9 p.m. before Taraweeh, something like that. So that's the timing. For me, I have mostly Indian followers, so I put it around 12 over here. So Indian timing is 2 o'clock over there. So post 2, people get to see it. So it depends. If you go to your Instagram settings, you'll find the exact perfect timing for you to post a reel. It tells you every information. Okay guys, so I think we're done with the questions. If you have any questions, I'll be right there for next 15-20 minutes. You can walk up to me and ask me anything. Okay, thank you so much guys. I hope that was informative.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Yeah. So thank you very much for your insights. Lot of tricks, and again, like we have to apply these tricks into action.
Yes, it's very simple. Very simple.
So only thing like consistency is very important. Even even me myself tried that consistency. I did it for 9 months continuously every day, but it's very difficult. Not that easy because you have to run.
It's kind of 8 hours job.
Yeah. It's completely.
In fact, longer than that.
And
shooting,
he was
editing plus posting, when to figure out caption, this, that. Then if someone replies to you reply to him back within that few minutes or whatever it is. That's a long thing. It's a full day.
It means worth investing that.
Of course.
Like initially when you have low numbers, you feel like, okay, waste of time. Why am I spending so much? I might as well do my food photography or whatever it is and make more money. But after a point when you start growing and numbers grow, and then brands approach you, oh my God, this brand never called me, and now because I have followers, they're calling me. So that happened. There was one brand, Insta360. I've been chasing them for like 4 or 5 years now. Today I got a call after 5 years.
So it
depends. Once you get the call coming, the mails coming in, messages coming in. Yeah.
it happens. Like even as I said, like we did 3 months continuously. You might have saw the first reels, it was not up to the standard, and Ajji was on opposite side. I tell himself, when I come into the office, the first thing that you should do is let's do 1 reel minimum, at least 1 or 2. And then we created at least 10 or 20 buffer, and then we started posting it. After 3 months, 4 brands I got. So they're the retainer. If you start getting the retainer fees, then you are done. But continuing that is big challenge.
Consistency, anything, content creation, even your work, even a business. If you're consistent, you'll make profit. The day there's one flaw, like assume you make good food for 99 days. one bad review, one bad food, you're gone. So consistent, your food has to be good throughout the day, your pictures has to be good throughout the day. Same rule applies in any field for that matter.
Thanks, man.
Thank you
very
so much. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, guys.
Thanks everyone for coming, and keep watching the Instagram for our new posts. And please register and join, because we get so many different talents like Faizan over here, and keep doing that. Thank you very much. And let's take a group picture. Yes. Yeah. Please come forward. Thanks again.
Thank you.